In the vast Marvel universe, a battle of superheroes where alliances are forged and broken, where each summoner seeks glory and supremacy, there is one truth that everyone knows: knowing how to attack is not enough. True power also lies in knowing how to defend, because the confines of alliance wars and battlegrounds in the most feared nodes of the defense map and one-on-one confrontations, where every mistake pays dearly. There are champions who don't just wait. The blow is returned with fury. Champions who wear down the rival, who dominate the battlefield, who turn the sand into their own ground. These are not mere characters, they are the titans of defense, the sentries that every summoner fears encountering, the ones who elicit sighs when their portrait appears on the screen. They are the ones who force errors, who punish impatience and arrogance, who make even the best attackers doubt. Because in every calculated move, in every hidden passive skill, in every subtle trap, lies the enemy's downfall. Today I bring you the most anticipated count, the one that separates mediocre defenders from the true guardians of the throne. Champions that can change the course of war, that raise the level of any defense, that makes you think twice before entering combat. So sharpen your senses, open your grimoire of counters and get ready, because this is the top 5 of the best defenders in Marvel. Batea Superior version 2, and believe me summoner, if you choose these champions well, more than one rival will end up crashing into these walls. The battle begins. Yeah, I know. This is a top 5. But let's be honest, it would be almost sacrilege to talk about the best defenders of Marvel Battle, superheroes, without paying tribute to a champion who has redefined more than one battle. Because Enchantress, the immortal sorceress of Asgard, is much more than a defense character. It is a true enigma, a menace disguised as beauty, a whisper on the battlefield that becomes an unstoppable roar. By the time his portrait appears in the exploration phase, summoners' hearts beat a little faster, because they know a war of mind control, attrition, and sheer frustration is coming. Her enchanting work, capable of enveloping the rival in a veil of uncertainty, her ability to accumulate enchantment charges that enhance her passive damage and her ability to control, and her ability to reflect damage or manipulate mystical energies that turns every blow thrown against her in a real risk, make fighting enchanters not a simple exchange of blows. It is a duel of nerves, and therein lies her true power. It not only punishes mistakes, it not only drains the enemy's life, it slowly breaks morale, makes the attacker rush, lose rhythm, waste skills, because with Enchantress, every second of the fight plays in his favor. And what about his versatility on defense? Place her in a node with power enhancers, in reflex nodes, in nodes with skill penetrations, and her presence is magnified. Suddenly, a fight that seemed controlled turns into an endless nightmare. For all of that, although this video is a top 5, I couldn't leave it out Enchantress, because if you underestimate it, you will pay the price. And if you know how to take advantage of it, it will become one of the most feared gems of your defense. So, Summoner, if you come across her, you better be prepared, because resisting his spell is no easy task. Now you do, Summoner. We left the tributes behind and fully entered the top 5. And we do it with a name that inspires respect and fear, the master of accurate shooting, the killer who never misses. At number 5, we have Bullsight, because on a battlefield full of mutant gods and warriors from another dimension, there is a man who has elevated precision to the category of deadly art. He does not have super strength, he does not manipulate energy, he does not travel through the multiverse. His gift is much simpler and much more lethal. He will never fail. Every attack he launches hits where it hurts the most. Every projectile finds its target. Each blow is designed to destroy the defense and break the opponent's morale, and it is in defense where stability makes it a real terror. Because facing Bullseye is not just a combat, it is a test of nerves. His ability to punish every mistake, to ignore the attacker's skill failures, to place relentless disadvantages, makes even the most veteran summoners sweat when they see him on the map. You want to play dodge, push and it won't let you. You want to block, he will punish your attempt. You think you can control the pace? He will break it with an unexpected counterattack, because against Bullseye, the margin of error is zero. And if you place it in strategic nodes, its lethality multiplies. Improve accuracy nodes, nodes that punish evasions, reflex nodes, critical damage, everything becomes favorable ground for him. Every move you make will be watched and punished. Every blink can be the last because he pockets and does not need a second chance. A bullet, a dagger, a projectile is enough for all this master of the murderer. He fully deserves his place in the top 5 of the best defenders. And if one day you come face to face with him, remember this against Bullsight, there are no second chances, time advances, seasons change, and in this 2025, he has arrived to the battlefield, a new shadow, a champion who in a few months has demonstrated that you don't have to be a god or an ancestral mutant to make your way among the most feared. It's not enough to be lethal, it's enough to be precise. It's enough to be Yelena Belova, yes, Summoner. In number 4, we have this recent addition that has revolutionized the defensive metagame, trained in the dreaded Red Room, forged between the darkest missions and the most relentless enemies. Yelena's not just a killer, she's a silent predator. Every move he makes in combat, every attack, every dodge is measured to the millimeter to cause the opponent's failure. And Elena doesn't just trade blows, she studies you, tempts you, makes you doubt, and when you let your guard down, she destroys you. On defense, he has proven to be a real headache for summoners. Its great mobility allows it to break the attack chains of the fastest enemies. Its unpredictable patterns cause many special attacks to fail. His ability to apply weaknesses and control the flow of the fight undermines his rival little by little. And above all, her mastery over the nodes that punish passive eye locks make her a death trap for those who are not prepared for the outcome. Combats that in theory should be quick and safe become long, uncomfortable, and highly dangerous duels. More than one veteran summoner has seen Hyelina dismantle her strategy piece by piece. And we're not talking about brute force, we're not talking about superhuman endurance. We are talking about total control of the combat rhythm of a champion who makes her rival fail. Before you even hit her with a presence that forces each summoner to think hard about which champion they have against her. And even so, many times not enough in defense, Yelena would have base nodes in enhanced, skill accuracy reduction, passive blocking penalty, critical damage increase based on rooms, and of course any node that rewards aggressive style champions. For all this, he has already become a key piece in the most feared defenses in the game. Her appearance in critical nodes has increased in recent seasons, and everything indicates that she will be one of the protagonists this year. Hyelena is here to stay and to change the rules, so Summoner, when you see her silhouette on the map, don't underestimate her. Get ready for a tense battle where any mistake pays dearly because Yelena Belova doesn't give second chances either. The top advances, and with each step we climb, the atmosphere becomes more tense and heavier. Her presence in critical nodes has grown, and she is changing the rules. Prepare for tense battles against Yelena Belova, as she doesn't give second chances. And in this position number 3, we find one of the most feared beings in Mabel superhero battles, a fusion of two of the most powerful and dangerous minds on the planet, a presence that sows chaos wherever it steps. Summoner is an eye-opener, because now we are talking about Onslaught, the fruit of the union between Charles Xavier's incomparable tactical mind and Magneto's hatred and magnetic strength. Outloud is much more than a mutant. He is a psychic entity with his sole purpose to dominate, destroy, and impose himself. Since his arrival in the games, Outloud has done nothing but solidify his position as one of the most oppressive and challenging defenders a summoner can face. It's not uncommon for even the most veteran gamers to get chills when they see it on the map. Because what awaits you when you go into combat against him is not a simple physical confrontation, it is a mental war. Oslo dominates the rhythm of the fight. His ability to accumulate ionic charges that enhance his damage, reduces the rival's capabilities, alters the perception of combat, generating confusion and causing even the most precise attacker to fail, generate force fields, reflect damage and punish every hasty attempt, and his innate ability to force mental errors to displace the player. They make every second in combat a battle against your own nerves. More than one summoner has entered confident just to watch their best attacker slowly fall, prey to the mental exhaustion that Oslo causes with his neuroshock handicaps. But that's all. It's about a psyche. Oslo has brutal resistance, an ability to absorb damage that makes him fearsome even against the most direct counters, and a space control ability that turns any node into his territory. Place it in nodes like power creation, force fields, passive attack request, ability accuracy reduction, progressive Zion damage, and you are creating a death trap for any opponent. Because with Autel, it is not enough to have skill, it is not enough to have counters, it is not enough to have luck, you need a cold mind, reflexes of steel, and above all, do not lose your calm because Autel Loud feeds on your fear. This has been the case over and over again in every recent season. Alliance leaders who have seen their defensive lines strengthened by his presence, summoners who have spent resources and enhancers trying to bring him down, and an entire community that respects and fears this mental titan. For all this, position number 3 is yours in its own right. Because Olaud isn't just another defender, he's a lesson for every summoner. The power of the mind may be the most lethal weapon of all. Get ready because if you ever find him in front of you, the real fight will not be with your fists, it will be against your own fears, the air, fire summoning. We are already at the top of this top. Here, in the top positions, there is only space for entities that have changed the game, for those champions who, with their single appearance, force each strategy to be rethought, that dominate the mind and the map. And in this number 2 position, we have a champion who has arrived this same 2025 to literally and metaphorically set fire to the defensive scene. A stellar appearance exclusive to the Heir to Fire event. A force of nature that cannot be enclosed in words, she is Darphoenix. From the first moment he stepped onto the battlefield, Darphoenix has made it clear that he is not a simple character, he is an event, a living threat, a cosmic fire that extinguishes us, that feeds on every second that passes in combat. Its most lethal weapon is not only its damage, it is not its regeneration, it is not its unstoppable incidences, it is its brutal accumulation of power. On defense, Darphoenix grows with time. Every moment the summoner fails to knock her down strengthens her. Every burden she accumulates, every second she gains brings her closer to the point of no return. That moment when she becomes an unstoppable force. Her constant regeneration keeps her in the fight when it should already be over. Each hit received gives him power, which in turn triggers his damage and offensive ability. Her work of constant tilting causes even immune champions to struggle to control her and her Nova Flame, and when her power meter reaches maximum levels, she unleashes a torrent of destructive energy that leaves no survivors. The most feared thing is not the damage it inflicts at first, but what it becomes if the fight drags on. Because Darphoenix's fights are never fast, she drags you into her games, forces you to tread carefully, and in the meantime she grows. His power increases his regeneration scale and his presence on the map becomes oppressive. Every mistake, every blink, every poorly calculated combo gives her even more edge until it reaches a point where you can no longer stop her on nodes, power copies, damage increases with charges, resurrection, power control reduction, damage reflex, energy accelerated regeneration. Darphoenix becomes any attacker's worst enemy. No matter how much you plan, the mere fact that the fight drags out plays in their favor. Since the Heir to 5 event, the large alliances have not stopped debating strategies. To counteract it, its impact has been immediate. In the highest level defensive lines, their presence is already a constant. There are those who say that it is too risky not to keep specific accounts against it. Others believe that it is the best use of regeneration nodes. But all this affects one thing. In the current meta, Dark Phoenix is the queen of attrition, the champion who forces summoners to spend more resources than against any other defender. For all this, and although he has been in the game for a short time, his defensive dominance is indisputable. Its accumulation of power, its unstoppable growth, its ability to make every second breach make it the greatest new threat of 2025. Therefore, Summoner, your position number 2 is more than deserved. And if you ever have the courage to cross paths with her in combat, record these words: time is not on your side. Every second that passes is 1 second more than the fire grows, and when it burns to the maximum, there is nothing left, only ashes, and finally, Summoner. We have reached the end of this journey, a path that has taken us through the most feared champions in defense. We have seen sorceresses, relentless assassins, mental titans, cosmic entities, all of them powerful, lethal, difficult. You have to defeat, but here at the top of everyone, there can only be one left. A champion who has proven time and time again that it doesn't matter how many changes the goal brings, how many new characters come to the games. His dominance is absolute, a force that seems immortal not only in combat but in Marvel history itself. Vaten superheroes in the number 1 position continues to reign the undisputed Snake, yes, Summoner. Year after year, season after season, Snake stands as the supreme defender and king on the throne that no one has been able to dethrone. And what makes him so unstoppable? It's not just his strength, it's not just his endurance, it's not just his growing damage. It is his ability for cyclic immortality and his brutal accumulation of power that allows him to turn any combat into an endless nightmare for the attacker. His ability to resurrect over and over makes chaos never the end. Every time he comes back, he makes him stronger, more determined, and more lethal. His constant power accumulation turns every second of the fight into a countdown for the attacker, because if you give him time, he becomes a monster that nothing and no one can stop. His increasing damage as he accumulates charges causes what starts out as a controlled struggle to end up in a life or death match against Snake. Time is your enemy. Every second that passes, every cycle that completes, every drop of power that accumulates brings him closer and closer to the state of absolute invincibility. And it doesn't matter what champion you have, it doesn't matter if you have counter your strategies, you plan every blow. If you can't control the fight from the first moment, he will take control. And when that happens, when he begins to accumulate power without stopping, the combat stops being a fight and becomes a sentence in nodes such as accumulation, accelerated power, damage, reflex, regeneration, automatic resurrection, reduction of healing control, bonus of energy damage. Snake, it transforms into a force, nature, an indestructible wall, a presence so overwhelming that it can bring down entire lines, limit the resources of entire alliances. Many summoners have tried to find new ways to defeat him, and yet, fight after fight, event after event, Serpent still reigns. Why? Because more than a defender, he is a legend, a threat that is not limited to the map. He lives in the minds of the players. The biggest mistake you can make against him is thinking that the match will be over fast, that you can take him down with a good rotation, that you can control him with counters, because all Snake needs is time, a few more seconds, one more cycle, and a little more power. And then it's too late. Your life will plummet, your power bar will be rendered useless, and your plans will fall apart. For all this, for his constant dominance, for his ability to absorb everything he throws, thus returning it multiplied, Snake earns the number 1 position on his own merits, and as long as a threat capable of matching does not emerge in the game, his combination of immortality, accumulation of power, and total control of the combat rhythm will continue to reign. So Summoner, the next time you encounter him, don't underestimate his power. For on this battlefield, he is the king of immortality, the master of hoarding, the eternal terror of defense. And on the throne, there is only one place for one, and his name is Serpent. And so summoning, we have reached the end of this journey, a tour of the darkest and most challenging corners of Marvel, battles, superheroes. We've seen the champions they forge, the most feared defenses, the ones they transform. Every fight in a test of patience, skill, and courage. We have remembered why defense is an art, because in this game it is not enough to know how to attack. The true master is the one who knows how to defend, who turns each node into an impassable wall, and who forces his enemies to spend resources, time, and nerves. Today, we crowned the current king of defense. But you know, Summoner, the methane never stops. New champions, new events arrive, the games will change, and the throne will always be in dispute. That's why I ask you, who do you think will be the defenders of tomorrow? Who could dethrone the Snake here with pawns? Are you afraid on the war lines? Leave it to me in the comments, because the battle continues, and this battlefield only the best survive. See you for the next video, and until then, may power and glory be with you, Summoner. So if you like this video, don't forget to leave your like, subscribe for more epic Marvel content, and above all, leave your comment. What defenders do you think? Was this top missing? Who would you place in top number 1? What characters would you like to see in the next analysis? And we read each other in the comments. Summoners, until the next bye-bye.